Good morning, friends, followers, fellow YouTube creators, YouTubers, subscribers and Trevorites. But mainly I'm saying good morning to you, the subscribers, because without you, the channel wouldn't grow. And this morning we hit 87.8, so thank you very much. And if you're watching this video right now and you've not yet subscribed, why not? It's free! Right, people. It's the 6th of September. Oh, right. 6th of September. A day which is embedded in my brain. A day I see, for those of you out there with mental health and trauma past and stuff that sticks in your head, the 6th of September is a day that I can see every single day of the year. The 4th of September, I see it every day of the year. The 2nd, the 8th, the 9th. I can see things happening, running through my brain. I have a lock up there, a door up there, which I keep locked. My therapist, Debs, from PTSD Resolution, helps me keep that door locked. But every so often it creeps open a little bit and things get out and it makes me emotional. The 6th of September, 2006 is a day that I will never forget for many reasons. It may seem weird, but for the veterans that watch me, you understand combat if you've been in combat. Not all veterans have. But when I look at my time in the service, I loved it. I don't regret a single day of it. Well, the days that I did fuck up on, coming in drunk in camp and getting locked up for being charged £50 by the OC and Major Hart in A Company, 1 Irish. So there's a few things that I regret in life. But my service, no, I wish I'd have been able to do it longer. Unfortunately, it was cut short. Anyway, let's get back to the main meat of it. 6th of September. The 6th of September is the worst day for me because of not because of the explosion, not because of the casualties and the guys and women that were killed in action, but because of the events that followed that for years, for 17 years, the events that followed that. And I'll talk you through a little bit of it because it's fresh in my mind today. Clearly, it's a memory. 6th of September, we are being attacked every day in Sangin, like every other unit. But you get used to it. Oh, we're being attacked again. You know, okay, let's get the ammunition up. Let's bring up extra boxes of 200 link, the GPMGs. You get used to being attacked. It becomes the norm. Sounds weird, doesn't it? It becomes normal to be in a firefight against enemy. It becomes normal. So any other day, we're like, okay, guys, everyone gather around quickly. Quick set of orders, QBOs. Okay, what's going to happen is once we can hear the moss going and the loud inhalers going, we can hear it, and it's everywhere. And we're going, okay, guys, we haven't got long now. After this, we want Davey, you need to achieve this. Rob, you need to achieve this. Trev, you need to achieve this. Okay, let's pass to Davey, who's now the acting platoon sergeant because our platoon commander's away on R&R. The platoon sergeants become the platoon commander. The senior full screws become the platoon sergeant. We've all stepped up. Davey gives us a brief. We have a brief. It's all going well. I'm sitting with my back against a tree, chilling with my notebook. Stella, another guy, a Lance Corporal, sits beside me on my left. Luke comes down, sits beside me on my right. He's eating a vegetarian meal, laughing at me, going, because he's had his lunch. He's been able to, no, his dinner. He's been able to make his dinner when the rest of us haven't had dinner. He's good admin. He sits beside me and I look at him and I'm meant to be his boss. And I just looked at him and I went, all you do is eat, you fat bastard. And he just laughed at me and went, anyway. We're then told, right guys, it's coming to 5. Prayers are about to finish. Head back to your positions. That never took place because the Taliban decided to hit us early. And I can remember just hearing a large explosion and dust and I couldn't see anything. My hearing had went. The Taliban had fired mortars and one had landed about 10 meters behind me and the shrapnel was devastating. It went everywhere. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because of a certain thing that happened after. So the shrapnel went everywhere. Some of it, unfortunately, went into the back of Luke's head and he fell over. The bit that was meant to kill me hit the tree. So behind me, the tree was dotted in shrapnel. The guy to my left, Stella, had shrapnel through, had penetrated his abdomen. Now, I'm sitting there now in the middle of this chaos. Shrapnel had hit my platoon sergeant and different people. Whenever the dust started to clear, I could hear muffling of screaming because my hearing had gone. I looked up and I could see a paratrooper, one of the young lads, looking at his hand, and he had a hole in his hand where the shrapnel had went straight through his hand, and it looked like a scene of a war movie, clearly. And I was in shock. Stella, I remember looking at Stella and gathering my thoughts, and we managed to do his body armor up and get it tight to keep his bits in. And I looked at Luke and I was stunned. Now, imagine being in that type of battle shock, to look down and seeing a guy lying on his side. I was covered in red blood. I thought I'd been injured, but I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. I was in shock. People were screaming at me, get to Luke, get to Luke. And I just looked at him. Now, here's what happened 17 years later. So what transpired from that whole operation was this. Someone in my platoon at that time was watching me. And from their perspective, they seen me looking down at Luke. That's all they seen. So they passed that information on to Luke's mother. Now, for 17 years, Luke's mother has believed this. Trevor Colt's not a hero, he's an arsehole. He sat there and watched my son die and did nothing. That his mother blames me on his death, and I've had to deal with that for years. I tried to fight it off when I was in the army. I was told to shut my mouth, let the woman go because she's suffering. She's lost her son. Now, so I have actually, this is the first time I brought this out. So for 17 years, I've sat back and said nothing, and I've been attacked non-stop by people in that family, the friends who weren't there, that don't understand what combat situations like. And I've been accused of watching someone die, do nothing, being a bad soldier, this and that, for years and years and years. Well, you know what? Fucking no more of it. That's the truth of what happened in Afghanistan in 2006. Anyway, let's move on. So, 6th of September is a day where I think back and I say, you know what? Look, if you were here, you would sort all this shit out, but you're not here. Rest in peace, buddy. But, so what else is happening today? Well, 1 million people on sick benefit apparently are going to be forced to go on work. The government wants to claw back billions of pounds. It wants the people in the UK that are sick to get back to work. Wonder why the government's skint. Ukraine, asylum seekers, hotel bills, transport, interpreters, NHS, more people living in the areas, housing, people living... Yeah, so maybe it's not us that needs to sort our shit out. Maybe it's the politicians that need to sort their shit out. Our welfare budget at the minute is 26 billion. Yes, there are probably people out there bluffing. Let's sort them out. But you know what? Let's take the foot off the throat of the taxpayers or the UK citizens and let's put the foot somewhere else. That's what I'm saying. Child killer Lucy Lethby. Well, her legal aid bill so far is £980,000. But that's nothing. That will probably reach past $1 million when everyone puts their receipts in. But the Crown Prosecution Service, so far, it's cost them $2.5 million just to put her in jail. Maybe if we had a death penalty in the UK, we would not be in debt, in my opinion. Right, now here's a funny story, whether you like it or not. It's a funny story. Let's change the subject. A drug dealer called James Beaumont. Listen, a drug dealer was caught. Guess how he was caught? He phoned the police up to tell them, hello? Yep, come round to the house. My drugs have been stolen. The police were like, say again. My drugs have been stolen. I had cocaine, methamphetamine, I had LSD, I had ecstasy. It's all been stolen. Could you come around and check it? Oh, knock. Hello, is this Mr. Beaumont? Yep. Did you report your drugs were stolen? Yes, I did. Come in. I have compiled a list. And he gave a list of the drugs that were stolen to the police. The police went, we're going to search the property. And the priest was there. And the police found drugs all over the house. So you know what? If you're a drug dealer, don't phone the police to say you can't find your drugs. We have great criminals in the UK, don't we? Do you remember the Chief Medical Officer, Sir Chris Whitty, today is going to talk live from Downing Street about the state of the nation. Do you remember him? Well, I think that everyone should wear a mask. I think 2 meters gap between each other, and I think we should wash our hands. Today we have Nurse Jones, who's going to demonstrate how we wash our hands. Remember that, idiot? Well, guess what? After spending years and years telling us all, if your child develops a runny nose or a sore throat and cough, keep them home, isolate them. Well, he's come out with a new stance now. If children have runny noses and sore throats, there's no reason why they should not be at school. Very, very cunning, Mr. Whitty. Because even if our children have sore throats and runny noses, we can't go to school because the government fucking closed them all because apparently they're going... That nearly collapsed. Apparently the schools are all going to collapse, aren't they? So there we go, people. My son's off school. Back in Monday, while structural engineers carried assessments on the school. There was nothing wrong with the school until somebody tweeted, there might be a problem with the concrete. What? And it gathered rumour. Like the Army Rumour Service. Now, please do your own research on the stuff that I say. But listen to this. Education Secretary Gillian Keegan. Education Secretary Gillian Keegan. Her husband's company has just won a £1 million contract for IT in schools. Bit weird, isn't it? I'd be sitting there at the grant business going, oh, what's wrong, Stacey? Gillian Keegan, isn't she the Education Secretary? That's correct. Her husband we've just given him a grant for schools. Oh, is that not a conflict of interest? Shh, let it go. We gave a contract to Michelle Moan a while ago, do you remember? For PPE, to make masks and stuff. And they had no experience in making masks until someone mentioned that in the House of Lords. It's quite strange that Baroness Moan has won the contract to make masks when she's got no experience. Baroness Moan jumps up with a gimp mask on going, I think you'll find my lingerie company have been making masks for years. Yes, yep. Anyway, people, listen. Today is also the anniversary of the passing of one of the bravest men. I did meet him. I met him in Camp Bastion, actually. Mark Wright, GC, George Cross. If you haven't went and watched the movie Kajaki, go and watch the movie Kajaki. Mark Wright gave his life to try and save his comrades and was rightfully so posthumously awarded the George Cross. Guy worked in the 3 Para, 2006. Anyway, listen, it's a solemn day for me. You now know about the shit I've gone through for 17 years. I continue to be accused of all these heinous crimes. And no wonder I went into therapy with the amount of shit that I've seen. Anyway, listen, have a great day, everyone. Thanks for your support. If you watched my video last night about they know everyone, that was common sense. So for those of you that think I've gave you stuff that you didn't know, all I did was sit down with the informed information and I went, okay, Prince Andrew travels with royal protection. Ex-presidents travel with CAA knowledge and presidential protection. So in the files there will be lists of where they've all been and who was there. It's just common sense, people. Listen, have a great day, everyone, and stay safe.